What is a domain controller? The goal of the video is to help you understand what a domain controller is and how they work. What is a Windows domain? Windows domains have been around since 1993 with the release of Windows NT. They provide administrators with large computer networks and large amounts of computers to manage the computers around the network. You can have a small business or even a massive business use a domain controller. They are typically used in schools, universities, college, large companies, and many more. Domain controller overview. Domain controllers are usually called DCs. That is a domain controller in small format, which helps to name the domain controllers correctly for swift understanding. A DC is a server with an Active Directory domain services role. It handles authentication and security from different computers. The domain controller also stores the Active Directory and the group policy. Multiple domain controllers. Primary DC is usually called domain controller number 1, which helps for simpleness. Secondary domain controllers provide backup if controller number 1 goes down. It prevents downtime and login issues. Active Directory. When a user tries to access a domain-joined computer, it would contact one of the domain controllers that have been set up to attempt to log into the client computer through the domain. It manages user accounts and passwords. It tracks client PCs and printers across the network, controls file shares and access, again, across the network. Group policy management. Used to manage all the domain, user and computer settings remotely to lock down certain computers from doing stuff they shouldn't do. Uses policy to manage client settings across all the domain joined computers. You can install software remotely. Set backgrounds and restrictions across the domain. Manage security options. With the domain controller and the group policy, you can set up the group policy to push out files from group policy to the client computer. You can restrict explicit websites, AI sites, and whatever websites you may need to restrict. You are able to manage and configure security settings like requiring users to press Ctrl-Delete to log into the computer, stop the next client who uses the computer next from seeing the last person that successfully logged in last, and many more. Conclusion. A Windows domain allows administrators to manage a small or large computer networks, use at least one Windows server called a domain controller, in short DC, to connect to the client computers. A domain controller is a server with the Active Directory domain services role installed on the specific server. Active Directory organizes objects and organization units. DCs have the tool AD, Active Directory, and GP, Group Policy. Active Directory contains objects and organization units across the domain. GP and GPOs group policy objects that manage AD objects. Thank you for your time.